Hello my Divination darlings, welcome back to another video, and if you are new to the channel, welcome. My name is VdLF and bienvenue chez moi, le salon de divination de VdLF. Like I said, if you are new, I am a diviner and I provide a lot of divination products, services and readings. So if you would like to check all of those out, go to the link in my description to my buy me a coffee page and we'll get you sorted. But if you would like a reading, a single reading from me for non-members costs £5. If you are a member, you get access to a lot of perks and a lot more for a lot less. Y'all know what it is. So yeah, if you're going to book a one-off reading with me, then please be sure to message me first so I can check if I'm comfortable with your topic and your question and such in mind, so we don't have to go through any unnecessary refunds. So for today's video, I'm going to be going through the Q&A, the long-awaited Q&A. I know I asked some of you guys, send me questions and such, and I got a lot of questions. And I did pre-record this video actually, but it was too long and it didn't go in my storage, so I had to restart. But I'm happy to do it, So yeah, this time I'm going to be making this into a part 1 and a part 2. So this will be part 1. Part 2 will air at another date, but it will be done. And my new upload schedule is every 2 days. We are going hard with this. Okay, this is, like I said, what I want to do for the rest of my life. We are treating it like what it deserves to be treated as, basically. So with that in mind, let's get to the questions. So I'll answer like half and then do the last half in another video. So the first question is from Trix. I know she's my regular customer, so hi Trix. Hi if you're watching. So her question, I'm going to break it down. Mostly, how do you go about practicing tarot/cartomancy? So how I go about it is, I'm going to be dead honest, I've never ever gotten my hands on a divination book teaching you how to do tarot, teaching you how to do cartomancy. What I do is I pick a source. I go hard on that source, and I learn only from that, and then I just practice, and then build up with my own interpretations, connections, etc. So for tarot, I picked Labyrinthos. It's completely free. It's a phenomenal app for beginners. It's, I don't want to say low commitment, but you don't have to buy anything, and it's also convenient, and it's also friendly to people in the broom closet because it's an app. Because if you're in the broom closet, you want to do divination. No, divination isn't inherently witchcraft, but the two are commonly intertwined. So it's very friendly for people in the broom closet because you don't have to buy anything physical, and that sort of increases your safety, basically being able to have a digital thing and that not being easily picked up by the wrong people or people you want to hide your practice from. So just like I said, tarot, I use Labyrinthos. Cartomancy, I just use an article online, just give you the basics. I don't remember the exact article, but I learned from those articles, and I use that one source, that one online source. Pick any online source, a credible one, but pick it. Just go through that, because, for example, when I was learning about cartomancy, there are so many different sources with so many methods and ways to interpret and use playing cards for divination, but you can easily get confused, be like, oh, but this source said, this source says. Pick one source that you like, follow those interpretations, then as you move on, even with this also applies to tarot, I pick Labyrinthos in that case, and they provide meanings and such. As you build that foundation with that one source, you'll become more independent and be able to make your own connections, your own associations, your own, meanings with the imagery, what else? So yeah, just pick one thing, or rather I picked one thing, and if you want to apply the same approach, pick one thing and then practice. Do questions maybe for yourself, a daily card pull, weekly. You can practice for free with some friends, do a trade with somebody you trust. Just practice. If you are learning divination, the only foolproof way to truly master your tools is through practice. You cannot escape the practice. You cannot. And when it comes to tools as well, if you are in a situation where it's too risky for you to get physical tools, Labyrinthos has digital tarot cards, like in the app. You can use that. So yeah, just practice as much as possible, and stick to one information source for like your list of interpretations and build up from that. And that's how I do it. And the next part of that is, how do you do your readings? As in, do you shuffle and read the cards that pop out, or do you shuffle and then use your intuition to pick up the cards? So for my card, like mediums, or media rather, so tarot and cartomancy, right? What I do is I shuffle it, I say a little mantra. I guess it just helps me get in the zone. I wouldn't really call it a mantra, but it's just a saying and a phrase that helps me get in the zone. And after that, I'll do the shuffling as I'm saying that. Once the phrase is done, I'll say blessed be. I will pick the first 3 cards at the top of the pile. In the case like where I'm shuffling and a card drops out or flies out of the deck, I will really hone in and think, you know, did this happen because I'm just not feeling my shuffling game today, or do I feel like this really has meaning? I just take that couple of seconds to deduce whether or not my intuition is telling me if it's an actual card that came out for a reason or because I was a little bit clumsy. So yeah, that's another thing I just want to add in there. Not every card that falls out of your shuffling deck has relevance to your reading. It could just be a whoopsie daisy, and it's happened to all of us. Yeah, that's how I do my shuffling. All right, let's see. Next question, let me find it. There's a lot of questions here. I'm going to answer. Let's do. I want to answer 4 of these questions. They are from Eternalist. So Eternalist, if you're watching, hi. Hope you're having a good day. All right. So, okay, I'm terrible at Q&As. You are not. You sent so many questions. But I'll take the time to think of something, and she did think of something, so thank you. So first question from Eternalist. How do your spiritual practice begin? Believe it or not, Mob Psycho. The anime, Mob Psycho. I want to tell you why. I was watching this at like mid-2019. It was around the time I was moving to the UK. Like the last couple of days that I was in South Africa, right? And gosh, like I was watching this and I was like I was like, wow, this is super cool, and I want to try being a psychic, you know, like young me. I'm like, I want to be a psychic. So I searched up videos on like psychic abilities, and this lady called the White Witch Parlor came up. I'll put a channel and stuff here, and she's really amazing. She taught me about intuition, psychic ability, and then I saw her videos on witchcraft, and I just watched those and went from there. But it's like, that's basically the summary, but I have so much stuff I could talk about in regards to my journey and such. But yeah, the fact that it started from an anime. I actually haven't watched Mob Psycho in a while. I've been watching or rewatching Attack on Titan with a friend, and I just finished the 3rd season of Oshinoko. We are not talking about the ending. Ruby, what are you doing? And if y'all seen it, then you know. So yeah, it began with an anime. Weebism rules. Anyway, second question. Where do you see your practice in 5 years? Good question. Oh my gosh. Where do I see my practice? I see my practice thriving. I see myself at peace in it, you know, fully being able to be myself. I just see it booming, and in a good way, you know. Yeah, that's how I see it, and I just see myself fully committed to my divination. Even now I am fully committed, because like I said, I want to do this for the rest of my life, like I said in my previous video. So that's how I'm going to treat it. And like with an upload schedule, then yeah, that's already set in motion as far as I'm concerned. Question 3. Where do you want to venture in spiritualism this year? So I guess I want to venture into the concept, and I already am venturing into the concept of becoming your own unit. Because what I realized, and what I mean by that, is that when you come to working with deities, for example in Hellenism or Celtic polytheism, Roman polytheism, all the polytheisms, you know what I'm saying? There's often the concept, especially in pagan witch communities, of also Wiccan communities, I believe, of worshipping and working with a deity or an entity. When it comes to working with an entity or a deity, I think I'm just going to say deity just for simplicity, you know, it can be for your confidence, your financial situations, whatever it is. I've had great success working with Lady Nyx. She is so dear to me. I had such good experiences with her. I remember in terms of my divination business, I would offer her money and she'd give me double through my business, through customers coming my way, which is just, it was so nice. Anyway, when it comes to working with the deity, I realized maybe you need to get to a point, or in my experience, maybe you need to get to a point where you don't need to continuously work with them anymore. And by that I mean, not like you lose your spark or anything like that, but rather you are confident in now in your ability to handle everything in your life. You don't need an external source or power, you know, lending their aid. You know you can confidently handle that yourself, whether it be spiritually, physically, whatever. You can confidently handle all those aspects of your life that you were initially having trouble with, and you basically take control of your life. That is what I mean by you become a unit. Lady Nyx is a unit, now I'm a unit basically. Like, I don't need her intervention anymore. When I'm doing a spell or something, I'll be like, you know, you can join if you want, you know, I don't mind. But like, I very much see it as her role now is more of an observer. In a way, I don't actively go out of my way to ask her for direct help. Like I said, if I'm doing a spell and I just feel her there, I'm like, you can join if you want. You know. So yeah, I just want to venture into more of, you know, relying more on your own power, yourself as a unit, rather than seeking help from an external source, or moving into that confidence within your life such that you don't need to rely on deities and such. You yourself become, in a way, your own deity. You're like, I can handle this. I don't need your help, man. Thank you though. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that kind of thing that I'm venturing into, and I've very much experienced it a lot as well. Right now, Lady Nyx in my spiritual path, she's very much on the observer side. But I'm not like, shoo, go away, because she's done a lot for me. Like, no, don't do that to your deities. But yeah, she's just there, and I really appreciate her support, because now I'm like, I feel very, very confident in my own abilities as diviner, as a human, as a witch, so I will own them. Alright, next question, and the final one for this video. Why divination? So, I got pins and needles in my leg, excuse me. Anyway, so I chose divination, and I guess because I guess it's fun. I can't really remember the reason why I started it, but I realized I'm a pagan and which is amino. You could earn amino coin that way, and I just wanted amino coin to get amino plus, to, you know, style up my profile and everything. It was really, really nice. But by my second customer with my amino coin thing, me being a trusted reader, it grew into so much more than that, because, and that led me to then applying to be a verified vendor, where then I could charge real currency for my divination services. Because like I said, by the second customer, it was so much more than just amino coin. I found that I was really helping people, impacting people's lives in a positive way, and it spoke to me a lot in my heart, because I realized that I can contribute even now, and way back then when I thought I couldn't really do anything without a uni degree, that I could contribute with my current skill set, and I don't need to continue studying to get a skill set. I can contribute where I am right now in life to other people's lives, to society, to helping people just as I am with my natural skill with divination. So yeah, it felt really, really nice, and I love that I got to connect with people and make people happy, like I said, just as I was in that moment. And when I realized that this was a natural skill for me, it is for everybody technically, but in my case, it just really went into my heart, and I was like, dang, I want to do this. This is me. It became a part of me. It rooted into my systems, and it just sort of stayed there. So I really, really love divination, because it's opened up so much fulfillment for me and allows me to truly be me and the person I am becoming and will become in the future. So it's just a way for me to have honest connections and also honestly help others. And what I love about divination as well is that, like I said, you don't need to continuously study and pour all this money into a course to learn divination. So in the case that maybe you like divination, you can pick it up too. And if you have the honest heart that you want to help people with certain things, of course, medical, legal, know your boundaries, you cannot help in that regard if you're not a doctor or a lawyer or whatever. But if you want to help people with some guidance in such a spiritual manner where it can be applied ethically, then go ahead. Absolutely, go ahead and learn divination. It's incredibly inexpensive. I believe that's the correct word, inexpensive to learn. Yeah, it's just incredibly cheap, rather. So yeah, go ahead, and if you are interested, try it out. I also offer a coaching service for my divination, where if you are struggling with interpreting something, or really any trouble you have with your divination, or you just want to learn with somebody else, I got you. Also found in my Buy Me a Coffee website. So yeah, that's why I chose divination, because it allows me to be myself, and it allowed me to realize that I can help people as I am. You know, I don't have to constantly be thinking to the future about uni courses and stuff and then only being able to help people. I can help people as I am in the moment right now. And I have helped people, which I'm very, very proud of, and I'm very honored by it. And also that people trust me as well. Very honored by that. So I believe those are all the questions I'm going to answer for this video. Thank you to Tricks and Eternalist for sending in your questions. And Q&A, the second part of the Q&A, will be up 2 days after this video. So like I said, so say for example, I take 1 day off and then I upload, 1 day off and then I upload. That will be my schedule, like every 2 days. So yeah. What else do I want to say? I'm not sure, but I think that's it then, really. In that case, thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you would like a reading with me, go to the links or just link in the description to my Buy Me a Coffee page. And yeah, like I said, if you want to book a single £5 one-off reading with me and you are a new customer, please make sure to message me first. I ask people to message me first before I get their readings booked in, because you know, I want to avoid unnecessary refunds. Say for example, you pay for a reading and then you come message me, but I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm not comfortable with your question, but you've already paid. You know, I think the best thing to do in that case, to prevent, like I said, unnecessary refunds, unnecessary stress, would be to message me directly. Check with me first if I can do your topic, if I'm comfortable with your question and everything else, and then we can go through with the payment. Like I said, just to avoid unnecessary stress. But apart from that, thank you so much for watching, and au revoir.